Hi, my name is Ashley, and today I'm going to be talking about the different parts of the skin and the different functions that they have in our body. So let's get started on learning about the skin. The integumentary system is an organ system that protects us from damage, such as loss of water or cuts on our bodies, keeps it from getting to our organs, to the lower levels of our skin. So the integumentary system is made up of our skin and all of its appendages, such as our nails, our glands, our hair, things like that. There are three different layers to the skin: the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis. The epidermis is the top layer, which is closest to the outside world. The characteristics of this layer are that it is waterproof and it blocks bacteria and viruses from entering the body. The epidermis is tough, but it's also very thin. Next is the dermis, which is between the epidermis and the hypodermis. It's the thickest layer and it is made up of connective tissue. The connective tissue in this layer gives the skin flexibility and strength. The dermis also contains all of the nerve endings, the glands, hair follicles, and blood vessels. You can find the follicles, the sebaceous glands, the sweat glands, the nerves, the different parts of the skin that are in the dermis, as well as the erector pili, certain things like that. The hypodermis is also known as subcutaneous tissue, which is made up of adipose tissue, which is basically fat. This works as an underlying insulation system, keeping the layers at the required body temperature. It also really helps in absorbing shock, and it also holds the skin to the underlying surface. There are 5 different layers in the epidermis. The first layer that is closest to the outside world is the stratum corneum. This layer consists of dead cells called corneocytes and holds a dense amount of keratin in order to protect the skin from everything around it. Keratin is a form of protein that makes up the outer layer of the skin. It is also important in making hair and nails. Without keratin, our skin would not be able to withstand the outside world and would not be strong enough to function properly. The next layer is stratum lucidum. This is only present where skin is especially thick, such as the soles of the feet and the palms of the hands. This layer, which is designed to help the body handle friction, is transparent when viewed under a microscope, which is where it gets its name lucidum. The next layer is stratum granulosum, which is also called the grainy structure. It is found between the stratum lucidum and spinosum. In this layer, keratinocytes migrating upward are known as granular cells. Next in line is the stratum spinosum, which is a layer in the epidermis between the stratum granulosum and the stratum basal. Stratum spinosum is known for starting to produce keratin. Lastly, the stratum basal is the deepest layer in the epidermis. It's made up mostly of keratinocyte cells and is a continuous layer of these cells. It's also the closest to the basement membrane. Sensible perspiration is when sweat is released sufficiently and appears on the surface of the skin. Insensible perspiration is sweat that is evaporated before it gets to the outer layer of the skin, which is also known as insensible water loss. There are 2 main types of cells in the skin. The melanocytes produce melanin, which is a protective skin darkening pigment, found in the epidermis and the hair matrix. Keratinocytes produce keratin, which is found in the epidermis. It protects it from the outside world and surrounds cytoplasm. There is also the hydrogen bonds, which result from the atoms pulling the shared electron from one side of the molecule. Apocrine sweat glands are located in the dermis and only in certain parts of the body. They are known for releasing smelly sweat, as shown under the armpits and in the genitals. This sweat is an oily substance with proteins and lipids being released. Merocrine sweat glands are glands that extend from the outer layers of the skin to the inner layers. These specific glands help regulate temperature, keep the body at safe temperature, etc. The merocrine glands release sweat to cool the body and keep it in a safe range. Ultraviolet radiation, also known as UV radiation, can either positively or negatively affect the skin. This is a portion of the light spectrum not visible to the human eye. This radiation comes in forms of UVA and UVB, and it also comes in UVC, which doesn't reach the inside of the ozone layer. And when used healthily, these can help the skin and create vitamin D. When someone is overexposed to UV radiation, however, it can extremely damage the skin and possibly lead to skin cancer. UVB is known for only reaching into the epidermis and the top layers of the dermis, whereas UVA is a lot more potent and can reach into the lower layers of the dermis as well as the upper layers of the hypodermis. This can cause a lot of problems within the cells. Cholesterol is known for being a fat-like substance found in the cells of the body. This is the chemical structure of cholesterol. It makes hormones, vitamin D, and helps in digestive functions. With too much cholesterol, this can lead to blocked arteries and can damage the body severely. So there you have it. That's all the information on the skin and all of its different cells and functions and how it works in our everyday lives. So have a good day and enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you later. Woo!